Of course, Happy New Year 2026, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our talk show. Kama kawaida, we really thank you for your support, the support that you gave us throughout the 2025, and we wish you well in this new year 2026. I know a time like this, people are busy with pen and paper, are they just busy writing your new year resolution? So I also wish you well. As you're writing your new year resolutions, some of you are also trying to counter check some of the resolutions they had for 2025. The ones that were achieved, the ones that you've carried forward, is it carried forward or postponed? And the ones that you totally going to delete so that you don't have them disturbing this year. Of course, today is the second day of 2026. Of course, day one is gone. Out of the 366, you're now remaining with the 364, if not 365. So siku zinaenda, siku zimeanza, mwaka bado ni mchanga. And we know very soon tutakuwa tumefika tuanze kusema ni 2027. This is one of the most important years in our political circle. Of course, 2026 is just a year. Next year is 2027. So for those people who've been waiting for 2027, they'll now stop saying 2027. Instead, they'll start saying Mwaka ujao, or next year. As we begin this show, of course, I know we are going to start with some sad stories. There are a lot of things that have happened today. There are some who, to them, the year began well. Uko buheri wa afya, you are sound, safe, and you thank God for that. But there are people somewhere in Nairobi, talking of South Sea, the year has not been good to them because of what happened. There's a building that collapsed today in South Sea, that is Langata constituency. And it's sad. And the people who've been involved, their lives that have been lost, their properties that have been destroyed. Building under construction just decided to collapse. Though, as much as we say it is an accident, there are some leadership lapse, and there are people who should take responsibility. So I just want to get you a brief. Of course, I have a press conference with full report from Langata Member of Parliament, that is Felix Oduor, aka Jalango, who is the sitting area MP of Langata. We've also had several people giving their responses, condoling with the people who've lost their lives, and also weighing on what could have been the problem, what could have led to the house falling. So I'll just start by playing this, then of course we're going to discuss it. Some of these kind of recklessnesses that you started seeing at the beginning of the year. The year have just started that the houses have started falling, and some of them are because of some irresponsibility or somebody failing to do what is right. So this is what happened in the morning.
Yeah, this is the main road to Nairobi West. The area has been cordoned off. The army is on the other side trying to rescue those trapped under the debris. It's believed that the Uber driver and the passengers are trapped, and the guards on duty. So rescue efforts are ongoing. This is Nairobi South Hospital, directly opposite the building that collapsed, and there are two other upcoming buildings next to the collapsed building, which residents say they should also be demolished.
All right, that is what happened. It happened today in the morning. It's really sad. And the saddest part is that this is something that has been approved by the National Construction Authority. It has been given a nod by the county government of Nairobi, though there are some people who've really failed on the duty. As we are going to look into this, we'll also have to call them out so that they can be able to take responsibility to ensure that such kind of deaths doesn't occur. The area MP, of course, managed to reach there, and this is what he had to say.
Tuko South Sea, Muhoho Road, Lang'ata constituency, na asubuhi ya leo tumepatikana na janga, nyumba ya ghorofa 16 ambayo iko under construction ilianguka na kufunga barabara, na inasemekana kuwa kulikuwa na watchmen huko ndani na kulikuwa na wapita njia, na watu ambao walifika hapa, watu wa kwanza ilikuwa ni the polisi wa Lang'ata wakiwa led na OCPD wetu hapa Wanamwathi na team ya National Disaster Response Unit wako hapa led by Daktari Ochieng yuko hapa. Ni kuwa tumeanza mwaka kwa njia ambayo tulikuwa tunatarajia, na saa hizi unavyoona nyuma yetu hapa, kazi ya kujaribu kufukua hizo debris yote imeanza, na we have a full response team here, a multi-agency response team. Kuna Kenya Power wanafaa kukata hii stima kwa sababu pia imeangukiwa. Kuna the army is here, the county government is here to make sure that kama kuna survivors wenye watapatikana hapa ambao tunaomba kuwe na kusikue na maafa mengi, wakuwe wanaweza kutolewa hapa ndani. So what we are doing right now is just the rescue thing. Yes. That is where the problem is. We as residents, and the chairman was here, Dr. Gishui was here, as residents of South Sea, they have written more than 43 letters to the county government requesting and asking about some buildings that have been suspicious or do not have approvals. But there's no been good response. 43 letters from the residents of South Sea Association. Buildings are going on. Some are questionable. Anytime you ask, they'll tell you they know who is who in the government. Buildings are coming up here in South Sea, some of them even in a year or two. More than 16 to 15 floors are done. Just down the road there's a project by LAP Fund that the president himself launched. 2.5 years later, it is still ongoing. But right here in the middle of South Sea, we have buildings that started just less than a year ago. People are already living inside them, which is causing a disaster. And we'd even raise this with the residents, and we say that this could just be the beginning. As we speak today, we are requesting every single construction that is going on within South Sea to stop so that a new evaluation is done. A new evaluation is done through the National Construction Authority, the approvals from the county. We need a multi-agency approval before these things go on, because we cannot allow disasters like this to go on, yet we know where the problem is. The people issuing approvals to buildings and cannot come and supervise and see if the buildings are getting to the standards that are needed will have to face the law. It's one of the buildings that was raised by the South Sea Residents Association. Dr. Gishui was here, and he has actually letters requesting an investigation on the work that was going on here. And it's very sad this has happened. And we are very lucky that this happened. This happened at night. This is a very busy road. Muhoho is a very busy road. We have been talking about a very big disaster, more deaths here. And there's a school down here, Kongoni Primary School and Secondary School down here. This would have been a different story today. So we are asking and demanding that every single construction that is going on in South Sea must first stop, evaluation done, and every single multi-agency to come and give new approvals to these buildings before such disasters happen.
You spoke name of the developer.
We have no idea of who they know or who the developer is. Some of them are joint ventures. They have names that maybe you can look through the CR12s and you might not even know who the joint ventures are. But now we have to come back here on the ground and stop this looming disaster. As we speak, around us we have more than 15 new construction going on. We have to check the approvals and make sure that the standards are reached so that we don't get to these disasters again.
that is not what
have a meeting tomorrow with the South Sea Residents Association. We'll give directives. We are going to give orders through the police. They are here, and perhaps Dr. Chin can say something, and our OCPD also to say something. Thank you, Dr.
All right, you've heard it. That is Jalango. Jalango is saying that this building, actually, he's also saying that there are some other buildings of similar nature next to the one that collapsed today. But if you listen to him keenly, he's putting the blame on the county government of Nairobi and the bodies that are responsible who approved this building. And it's also good or interesting to note that the residents, through their association, have raised some concerns or have petitioned the relevant bodies concerning the building, which they believe is not to the required standard, right from the number of stores or the number of floors that were expected. And there's also negligence on part of the approving authority who approved the building and they fail to supervise, to come and check. It is not just enough to approve a building, but the responsibility of supervising also lies with the approval body to ensure that they keep on supervising to check if the standards or the agreed compliances are met. And that is the thing that they are complaining of. Not only that building, there are several buildings in specific area that are also questionable compliance. They have some compliance issues, which is likely to threaten or is likely to put the life of the residents on the risk. And it's not only people who are going to stay there, even the people who are just passing, like the people who are casualties today were not only the residents of the South Sea, but even the people who are just going about their work. That is what has happened. We've also had several statements from different political representatives within Nairobi, and all of them are pointing at the Nairobi County government, which they believe bears the largest responsibility as far as safety of these buildings are concerned, as far as compliance and the quality of the buildings that are being undertaken is concerned. So it is sad that as we are beginning a new year, when people should be celebrating as they plan to work on their New Year resolutions and pray that the year ends well, there are some who are not ready to enjoy the year at the very beginning. It starts with the disaster. But when we look closely, these are some of the disasters that could have been avoided. So it begs the question that as a country or as the residents of Nairobi, how safe are we? As we reached at a point whereby people just get some substandard maybe programs or projects being approved, you don't have to follow what is happening currently. People don't follow the due process. As long as you know somebody in the city hall, or as long as you have some cash that can buy your way, you go ahead, buy your way without considering the effect to the other people who are innocent. What has happened today, this also comes out that the developer is also among the constructors. So the developer is also among the people who are supposed to be working on the project. So it's really sad, as we maybe feel sorry to the ones who've been affected, the ones who've lost their lives, the ones who've gotten injuries, and the ones whose businesses have also been affected. But the government needs to get serious and ensure they protect the life of Kenyans by following the procedures, ensuring that these people who want to undertake some development programs, it is not going to develop an area. We do appreciate the fact that these kind of structures have reached the status of these estates like South Sea, and you can be able to see the skyscrapers you might think you're in Dubai. But safety first. Are they to the standard that is required? If they're not to the standards, and some of them are also built on land that is questionable, lands whose ownership is questionable, some that were reserved for sewer lines, some that were reserved for playgrounds and even schools and the construction of the hospitals. And if you look at the people who are in this circle, you'll find that quite a number of them are powerful people, the ones who are controlling our politics, the ones who are controlling our systems. So where are we going to maybe get some assistance as far as the interest of the common mwananchi is concerned? Otherwise, Happy New Year. If you're joining us for the first time and you've not subscribed to our channels, kindly do so. You can subscribe to our channel that is a free 24-hour. You can also subscribe to Leo TV, and of course, we also live on Umetimiza TV, so that you can always be able to get this kind of shows each and every day. We do some political talk show and other related shows. You can also join the conversation using the comment sections. Of course, the comment sections are in each and every platform where we are. Just type your concern and we'll be able to engage. So as you're saying Happy New Year, the question that we're asking you, what are your expectations this year? We know the previous year might have not been good economically, maybe socially, or in whichever way. But Alhamdulillah, we thank God the year has ended, and now we have a blank check. We have a blank check, and in this blank check, we have to determine or to write that which we want or which we expect. And at the beginning of the year, people are setting some of their expectations. What do you expect in this year? It doesn't mean that your expectations has to be achieved, but at least you have something that you'll be working towards. So what are your expectations this year? What did not work last year that you would want to work this year? What is it that you really feel like should happen this year? Away from politics, no, politics is also part of our life. But this year, somebody has told me that we need to see a working government. We need to see a working system. We don't want to see a system whereby Kenyans are losing their lives in some reckless things that ought to have been avoided. Like what has happened today. It's really sad that today in South Sea, we had to lose lives, but somebody seated somewhere already pocketed the bribe, already pocketed the tip, and okayed something which in his or her own conviction they knew was not right. So this is one of the things that must end. As we begin this 2026, we should see a total responsibility among the leadership, among the people whom we've given mandate to design the policies and implement the policies. We don't want to see what happened today happening. We need a total audit of these constructions that are taking place. We need constant supervision and follow-up to ensure that they abide and they comply with the set standards that are required of any construction within the country. Keep it up here. We're going to be having this show shortly as we're going to discuss yaliyojiri or yaliyotendeka kwenye uga wa